I'm late to the party. I am really sorry, but I am bringing you this review of Gozyuger episode 1. And yeah, I wanted to do this weekly. Things have gotten on top. So here is literally 3 videos almost in a row for you for the reviews to give my thoughts. Otherwise, we'd be here for like 2 hours and we don't want that. We don't want that. So here we go. Here's my thoughts on it. When it comes to Sentai, not a lot of them stand out. Gozyuger did, because that was slightly different with the Legendary War. Lucky entering on a meteor. That stuff was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. I think that's the best intro of any Red Ranger so far. But when you have giant robos being torn a new one in a short amount of time, that shit sticks with you. That shit sticks so well. Are they all dead? Are some of them okay? Who knows? But I generally really enjoyed the intro. I did think that the way that this was kind of talked about, all the robos would give the powers in the ring, but it's only a select few. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the case. And then much later on, we see stuff where the others give their powers up. So it's going to be one of those things. Also, this is set in another universe, which I generally always hate because I think they should always be in the same universe because it makes a lot of sense rather than having it in like, oh, this dimension has the Gokyugers, but they're not as strong as what they were, or this happened here and this didn't work, the Go Busters, blah, 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 blah. I generally think all of it should be in one place. But also having robos in all the dimension is always a cool thing in my eyes. With looking over this, the only thing that really annoys me is the fact that people are Zords and they're just kind of lying there. So you have like Don Marmotaro and his entire team, or even the Zenkaijers as well. And they were living beings, not just robos or anything. And hell, even some of the others that are pretty much like gods and stuff, like there would be a thing for it. So I don't know why they're just lying there and they're just dying. It's just a weird thing. You think they would kind of demorph and shrink back down to their normal forms. Now, one thing I generally think is going to make this a really special like series is the fact that we're getting past Red Rangers coming back, or other actors from different franchises maybe actually taking the roles of different Red Rangers. So we're not going to say that the actor who played Don Marmotaro, if he comes back, he's not going to be Don Marmotaro. He could be someone completely different. And I really kind of like that. Thought it would be they would come back as their characters, but I like the fact that they can be other people and playing other people. I think that is going to make this really special in my eyes. The actor who played Boom Red, who actually morphs into the King Oja Red Ranger, and that's what I liked. Like, it took me a while to kind of go, oh shit, it's the same guy. I don't know, do the hair differently, and I won't be able to tell. At the very beginning of the episode, we meet the 2 Red Rangers effectively, and they're getting robbed, and it generally reminded me of the days when I was working back at CEX, where people would threaten to kill me all the time because they didn't get their stuff. So it kind of brought me back to that. Even though that he saved the life of many people, his boss is like, yeah, you're fired, get out. And I'm like, man, come on. Like, what? Why? Just why? There are different scenes in this, and I love the fact that the coffee shop that they've got is in the same location as it was in Zenkaija and Don Brothers. It's the same kind of like shopping precinct or something. Absolutely love it. Fire Candle is such a weird name, but I like it. I think it works fine. Fire Candle enters like the big Zord Bay or the giant Robo Bay. I love the fact that it reminds me of Metal Gear Solid for some strange, bizarre reason. It's that thing where you're seeing the giant Metal Gear and you've got to get around the kind of like the you got to get around the soldiers and stuff. So that was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, damn, I'm all here for it. I think that's going to be kind of really cool. We have another villain, which is, I'm hoping I'm getting this one, which is Miss Bouquet. And yeah, like they're both humanoid bad guys. They're not really like monsters. They don't have monster forms, which is quite nice. And it's just different. Miss Bouquet is generally a polite person, and I'm kind of happy about this because it's not one of those things of where a bad character is going to get really angry or change or be irate. I absolutely loved it. That's what I kind of wanted. As I said before, seeing these different actors play different Red Rangers is going to be a little bit off-putting to me, but not in a bad way. Just make me go like, you seem to fit that character better. But yeah, in this, we see that he transforms and he is actually going out and fighting, and I love this. And also not having like the weapons, like their actual weapons for the Ranger, having like the Taiga swords or like the fake Taiga swords, whatever they are. I love the fact that it's on the arm, that they can use it at will, and we see it much later on with, like, say, Don Marmotaro and other Rangers like that. With rewatching it, and you just hear them all go, I want to be number one, just generally reminded me of Star Trek The Next Generation, which to me is fantastic. So I do kind of like associate that a little bit with it. Riker turns up in one episode. I think what is a little bit different is Miss Bouquet warns Red when he picks up the ring after one of the minions absolutely gets destroyed and disintegrated with it. And rather than be like, I want that, give me that ring right now, it's more, please, can I have it? Like, I don't want you to be destroyed. You know, I will get rid of it effectively. And that sort of kind of mentality is what I think is going to make these bad guys stand out. Because if they're nice now, or she is nice right now, when she snaps, it's going to be completely different. And that's what I think is going to make this series. How long till she snaps completely and just goes on a massive rampage? It's not going to be the third episode, let's say that. Each person in this is going to have a wish. That's going to be the main thing. But Hiro, and I'm sorry if I got his name wrong, doesn't actually have a wish at all. So seeing this at the very end where he's probably going to say, I wish for everyone to have their wishes, or something really random. Now, if they decide, hell, let's not give everyone a wish. He just goes, I don't have a wish, and wastes it, or wishes for something really small. I think that would be kind of cool and out there, rather than, oh, I wish everyone had their powers, everyone had their wishes. That to me would be the fantastic thing all the way through. It would catch me completely off guard. I also love the fact that when he gets his ring, he turns around and goes, hey, I'm not working, so I might as well do something. I thought that was fantastic, and I would love more people to be like him. It was just such a nice line. I don't know if it's just me. I've not really seen many people review this, but at times this reminded me of Smash Brothers. The giant hand coming in, which is the last boss in Smash Brothers. The music is very similar to Smash Brothers. And I generally keep thinking that I'm going to hear more of that or see other people. But for them to do that, someone was playing Smash Brothers at the office and thought, hell, let's just do shit like this. This is what we want to do. This is something that we've never seen really in Sentai. And again, you can see that people were watching things like WWE. But when you had like for the boxing thing or like the wrestling match, you have them walk up to each other, try to talk smack or something, or kind of like talk to them about it. And I really like this because it kind of takes you out ready for the main fight that's coming along. You know, the big reveal at the end or something, or the big fight. I just think it's fantastic. And I thought at first this was going to be about the Megazords, but it isn't. It's all about just these two people fighting and having people on their side. It is something that kind of like takes you out in a little bit, but doesn't take you out completely to the point where you just go, I'm going to turn it off. It's something that's brand new. I absolutely love it. And I think it's one of the best things that we've seen for a long time. At the very end of the episode where we see the Red Ranger, transform properly, goes around and fights. I love the way that it was so fast action, that everything was really, really smooth. And that's what I generally really thought was kind of cool. I love the fact that when he was like trapped inside the bell, rather than just like punching one or two, he was running around, and it reminded me very similar of like the Flash. Absolutely loved it. It stood out perfectly. And at the very end of the episode where he's fighting King Oja, I generally really liked that as well, because it was like, hey, I was your friend or co-worker. I'm now your enemy because you have that and I'm pissed off. And the whole fight brewing and starting, loved every second of it. This episode was fantastic to open with, and I generally thought after this one it was going to fall down, but it hasn't. This series is really fun and I really liked it. And now I'm going to jump into episode 2. So what did you think about this? What did you think of Gozyuger? Is it something that you really, really like, or is it something that you're kind of missing? Let me know what you think, and who do you think is going to turn up Red Ranger style later on in the episodes? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments and let's discuss. And I'm also trying to reach 21,200 subscribers by the end of May. So if you could subscribe as well to the channel and comment, that would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。